compressed and single instance files, the fact that you can have multiple vaults. Even in the DICOM environment, it comes configured with a DICOM vault, and then we'll see that. We'll get to play with that. But you could also use the InfiniVault system to do email archive. Just create a second vault to do that.
Sure.
The worm or read-write, capability would all be there. And so you could have DICOM and non-DICOM playing together.
Okay.
Living in sin happily. So, I mean, this kind of shows the fact that you can have email or file archiving, document management, ECM, or PACS, RIS modalities all working together. So basically, through the PACS and RIS systems DICOM functionality, you can retrieve and push images to the InfiniVault using the DICOM protocol. So in general, most customers would use the InfiniVault as the deep archive. The same thing would apply here. The name of the DICOM vault is STP pool, and it's specifically set up through the integrated DICOM application that we've got, which was written by DigiFirst, and it is called STP, just for your amusement. Not that you really need to know that. So again, information can be pushed to the InfiniVault system. It can be pulled from the InfiniVault system. When you're setting up the DICOM AET, you're going to want to use the name STP, the IP address of the InfiniVault system that we just painfully changed the IP address to, and port 104. Okay, so that's like the dedicated DICOM port.
Can that E table be changed?
The AE,
STP?
STP, no,
Okay.
needs to be STP. Sorry about that.
Okay.
You can, obviously, I mean, you name your own entity with STP and 104. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that because my testing of DICOM really is relegated to the viewers themselves. We don't have any PAC software in-house to do testing with. We have had some partners do some PACS testing. So when you're setting up a viewer, I guess, you can name that.
That viewer can be named.
The viewer can be named something.
Yeah,
but no, it has to be
cold store
STP
has
or
to be
IP
STP.
address. Yeah, it's got to be very specific, STP and port 104.
Okay.
So basically, PACS images are ingested the same as any other of the images that I already went through in the presentation. Again, adding now the DICOM protocol in addition to NFS or CIFS. There's a dongle here that enables the STP software to work. This is an abnormal demo system just for me, for coming for this training.
Sure.
That dongle is internal and it's really tie wrapped and wired in there.
Okay.
So there's no danger of that popping out. We've tested extensively what happens when the dongle is missing and bad things happen. So
Well, it just doesn't work, right?
yeah, basically, basically it doesn't work.
Doesn't like go and delete everything, does it?
No,
Your dongle's gone.
It just basically doesn't work.
So,
So, so just be aware of the fact that the dongle is part of the STP software and that it's necessary. But hopefully it should never pop out. I mean, you've got a better chance of losing a RAID card in this box than you do of the dongle.
Okay.
It's really wired in there. They did a great job. Again, the HIPAA compliance requires their own vaults. So the DICOM vault, the STP DICOM vault is set up as a warm vault by default. That's something that can't be changed. It would be additional vaults that you might set up for some other application in addition to DICOM that you could set as read-write. Again, you could do the test vault, set up a read-write vault, delete all the files, retire the vault, and play around in that fashion. Exact same operation. I won't go into any additional detail here.
I'm sorry, content addressable storage is a feature that's licensed separately?
Nope, it's all included.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we give away a lot. Same shtick here. We've already been through all that stuff. Same with the stubbing.
Well, yeah, the
Packs.
underlying system remains the same, you just added a
Exactly.
DICOM layer above it.
We've just added a DICOM layer above it, right. But I was hoping that he would give me some kind of,
Screenshot?
yeah, exactly. There we go. Okay, so DICOM can be remote replicated. Basically, you're going to do that through disaster recovery, through the disaster recovery capability of remote replication. You can't do it directly through DICOM. So the DICOM images can be read on the remote instance through a viewer, but they can't be sent back through the same PAC system.
I'm sorry. So site A, we've used the underlying feature of replication to the other Pro Store?
Yeah,
correct?
at site A,
B?
you would replicate it to site B.
Uh-huh.
The replication of those images would be through a disaster recovery. So when they're sent to site B, they're not necessarily DICOM images that can be retrieved from a PAC system.
Okay.
But I believe that, and I haven't personally tested that, but I'm told that they can still be read through a viewer at site B.
At site B, okay.
Okay?
So,
Because there's no DICOM embedded necessarily at site B.
right,
You're not pulling them out in DICOM. DICOM is the format.
yeah.
But I do understand that regardless, even though you're not pulling them out through the DICOM viewer,
Yeah.
or the DICOM piece, they can still be read by a viewer.
Okay. But there's a way to like get it back over to site A then apparently.
Well, sure, yeah. They're already resident here. Remember, you're only sending a
Yeah, so site A
copy.
got destroyed.
You're just sending a copy to
Right.
site B.
But, okay. I don't want to take up time, but the site B doesn't know anything about the DICOM.
Correct.
So I can't use DICOM to query for a study on site B.
Exactly.
And site A got wiped out, so I bought my new Pro Store box and put it back. And then there's a process to get
Well, you're
all
using-
that back into the DICOM environment on
Exactly.
site A.
Yes, there is.
All right.
Yes, there is. Okay.
So it might be quicker just to find all the copy 2 cartridges and read them all in
Exactly.
than to try to replicate across
With
the
diagonal
WAN.
Yeah.
Well, that's, I mean, again, for that remote access, this one seems to be telling me that if you've got a DICOM InfiniVault on both ends, at the remote site and at the far site, then you do have DICOM access, because that second system does know about DICOM, and those images can be accessed from site B. So you would have to sell 2 DICOM InfiniVaults. Whereas in this case, it's basically, you've just got DICOM on the source, but not DICOM on the target. So that's what he's got showing up here. Oh, shoot, he doesn't have any screenshots or anything. Well, let me see if I can go find some more information.
Well, can we get to the management screens from?
Yeah, absolutely.
From your laptop?
I've got, like, and I gave somebody a copy of a DICOM.
They're up on top of the system.
Okay. I wanted the addendum to the user's guide there. Oh, I'm in presentations, that's what I've got here. So just an addendum specific to DICOM, kind of walks you through some of those screens. You know, when you're setting up the, you're going to want to set up the remote AET first, and then go in and educate the DICOM InfiniVault as to what those AETs are. So you're going to go into the DICOM remote AET configuration, add all those AETs, their corresponding ports, because the AETs, even though they're pointed to port 104 on the DICOM, they've got different ports for the pull traffic as opposed to the push traffic. So it just kind of goes through and gives you, more information about that, specific to setting up those AETs and then configuring the InfiniVault. I just wanted you to know that that existed. We do have a number of DICOM applications that have been tested. Again, this is on our support portal. We've got eFilm, IntelliRad, DICOMWorks, Philips, Osirix, and KPAX. We've also got kind of a list of things that are about to be tested as well. And just some additional information that, I'll just pass this around, that we don't have the ability to get a license, an eval license for, so we're relying on our partners to do some testing. That's pretty true of any application that we'll test. If we can get a free license for it, we'll test it. If not, we're reluctant to do so unless we have a lot of push from our customers. So first of all, we look for our systems integrators and our partners to do that testing, and then we'll go ahead and do that testing. Excuse me. All right, well, let's just jump right in. So, I don't know if we've got a remote AET that we can play with.
Yeah, you can put in you ready to put it in?
Yeah. Is it set up to ST-Peak and port 104?
No, I'll fix that.
With the InfiniVault's IP address?
I called it Pro Store, it's in the correct thing to do.
All right. You always want to set up the remote AET first. It just makes more sense because otherwise then the InfiniVault, there's nothing to test with the InfiniVault there. While they're doing that, I'll just show you the Vault. DICOM 1 has already been created. The folder ST-Peak pool, and that's pretty standard there. As you ingest DICOM images, they go alphabetical. I assume that that's a standard DICOM environment kind of thing. There'll be folders called A, B, C, D, whatever, and then the studies will go under those folders.
So it's ST-Peak all capitals or ST-Peak upper?
So you're going to set it up to ST-Peak. Let me just go back to that presentation, just to make doubly sure
Right.
that's exactly what you want to do here. ST-Peak, all caps.
So Becky, on this
Yeah.
sheet, if it says status in solution test, if it's blank, it's in progress,
Yeah.
or just hasn't?
Exactly.
The
So
fact
just
that-
if you're pulling that list down off of the web, we update that continuously.
But it wouldn't be listed unless it was actually in progress.
Correct. Although he does list there, and this is done by our solutions engineer, he does list the ones that are about to be done. He's got that next yellow bar down further, saying
No
that these,
test downloads available yet. Okay, I didn't see that.
yeah, so those are about to be
Okay.
done. And then the ones at the bottom are ones that we would like to do. We can't, we can't get a free license, and so we need some help with, so.
Okay.
You got that?
Yeah.
So you can see on the screen what I need in terms of being able to add that to the Infinibelt.
Yeah, I think that's the E title, but I'm not sure. So description, you can just call it single.
Like I said, I've done extensive testing with different viewers personally, and I've seen all kinds of different sizes of studies, studies with various, just huge studies go back and forth without problem. I just did an install at a company, I think they're a partner of yours, Data First, and they were testing a migration tool that they had from Plasmon. It was a Plasmon-based PACS type system. And they just finished that test of their migration tool to the Infinibelt, and they were very successful with that test. So, in fact, when I got there, they wouldn't even let me touch the DICOM configuration. They were like, "Oh, wait, we want to do it."
Data first.
Data First does make sense.
Yeah. I assume they were a partner of yours, because I think their box was leaving their site and coming here, or coming to one of your vendors.
Could be. We sell Data First services sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
equipment and stuff.
So the box is either coming here or coming to some
Which
customer
box?
that you want to do a
Another
demo
Pro Store
for.
box, or,
No, Data First does data migrations.
I know, and what box is this?
Yeah, they have a Pro Store Infinibelt,
And that box is coming in.
and that box is either coming here or coming to one of your customers for demo.
Is it a 100?
Yeah, it's going over to
It's
merge.
a Model 30.
Going to merge next.
Others.
Yeah.
So that's the one that's kind of getting moved around.
You guys have had a box that just goes from place to place to place.
Show.
We actually
That's the
took it
problem.
back
Yeah.
just to upgrade the firmware and to make sure that, I guess over time that various bad things have happened to this box. It appears to us that somebody just went ahead and yanked the plug.
Could be.
So it put some of the RAID drives into write-through mode and, just some various stuff. I mean, again, you want to make sure that you shut down through the user, the management console, to make sure that all the processes and everything is shut down gracefully. But anyway, it's just gone from place to place to place. Its firmware got a little out of date because, gosh, I think we originally sent that box to you last October, maybe even earlier.
Yeah, it might have been even.
Well, you took it down to Chicago.
Yeah, we took it to RNSA, but it was here for a training thing,
Yeah.
October or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that-
August or something.
Probably October. I think they sold one.
Yeah, I think,
Okay, so the host name is going to be migration, all lowercase. And the address is 192.168.123.130. And migration, lowercase, port 104. And it's a tax.
104
I have to
is
look it up later.
the InfiniVault port.
Yep.
So it's also, you've got, 104 is also the port that it's gonna come in on. Okay.
Hold down, what else do we get? Well, I'm not sure.
Looks like server might be it.
Yeah, server might be it. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, I guess, where is there, highlight that and say ping first.
Woo, we can talk. There you go.
Sign here, I've gotta go now.
So go ahead and send
Okay.
something from there down to the InfiniVault.
So you take a beeline or door?
Let's, we'll
Give
hope
Dan's
and pray
number
it
and
shows
say,
up.
"I gotta catch a flight."
And if it doesn't show up, I think it's lunchtime, right?
Yeah.
No, it'll show up. God, I miss you.
You don't like me.
Yeah, again, it's that, usually when I set up viewers, you don't use port 104 both directions. So I'm wondering if that's the problem, that you
I don't think so.
send, there's a port that the InfiniVault has to talk to your server
Yeah,
at. Which
they're
is
both
different
talking to
than-
the same port number on a different IP address, and that's okay.
Okay,
Yeah, I think probably I've given you either, it doesn't like a title or
okay.
something else is going on.
Or it doesn't think
So
it's
is there
passed.
any sort of alarm at all? All right, help us understand what I can like.
Well, it's under.
Well,
server
C echo
type.
might, maybe C echo. Oh, I'm sorry, uppercase migration. Yeah.
Same with the host?
Yeah, but the host, I'm not sure. The E-titles are case sensitive.
Yes, I thought they were.
Yeah. So we'll try again.
Again, these are just some things that the ST Peak puts there for us.
Let's just try and send this study to you anyway, I guess.
Yeah, got a whole, I've got a whole folder full.
Another thing that is kind of a important, you know, as you're sending files down, that little refresh key that I'm pressing right there. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. That's another nice thing to know about there.
Gotcha.
Connection from migration to STP is refused. So on your system, can you help us understand?
I was going to try to use that server.
What would change it something, I'm sure.
I don't know that that really matters.
Yeah, I don't know what that really would do for this.
Packs, I mean.
Sure, is it tri-modality or viewer, either one?
So it's already got the connection. It's happy with that. God, sorry. It's time for another cough thing. I actually had bronchitis last week, so now that I've been in the room and interacting with you guys, I'll share that with you.
I feel like I want to run out of here.
Okay, we'll use that as an excuse
Sorry,
next week.
Angel.
Yeah.
We both got avocados. Need to stay home.
So the doctor gave me some pretty good cough. I don't know, these little. I want you to think I was just randomly popping pills here in front of you. Oh boy, this is being
Okay.